I think the last time we spoke was at the banquet. Certainly we've quality controlled the game, championship game. We've been on the road recruiting for a week, and then we had a big group of official visitors this past weekend. And then we're turning the page to bowl practice today. So, a lot has happened. Certainly pleased with some of the things we've accomplished since then. And we're excited about getting back on the field today. So, what do we got here?
You, I think, spent a lot of time after last year kind of examining that whole 2-week period and how to do differently when recruiting and,
Sure.
and finals and practice all overlap. So now all of a sudden you get a curveball and it's completely different. So
Yeah.
I'm sure you tucked that one away maybe for future use.
Right.
How did you come up with a new plan for a month long?
Right. Well, this is a little more the traditional bowl blueprint. I've been a part of several like this. And certainly I think it's good for the staff. It's good for the players. But you're able to compartmentalize a little bit more. It's certainly great for our players to have an opportunity to focus on final exams last week, finishing the semester strong. We did continue to have some run lift opportunities for them. Great for them to have a weekend off, and certainly for our staff to be able to go on the road, not worrying about bowl prep, not worrying about maybe a quick turnaround was really good. And certainly this weekend I thought was very effective, very productive. And then we just kind of, we're going to practice really and work really hard here for 4 days and then take a break for Christmas. About 6 days off or so, and then we'll come back and kind of turn the page to the opponent. So.
Do you not use all of your allotted practices? And if not, why not? And
Sure.
how much do you worry about the Christmas time off?
Yeah. No, I think, I think you got to be intentional and deliberate. When you do go to work, it's about the quality of the work. I really believe that. I think, today we're going to go back and completely redefine expectations in terms of meeting room expectations, flex expectations, how we practice, how we finish plays. All the things that you maybe do at the beginning of training camp or the beginning of spring practice. Going to kind of view this 4-day window here as an opportunity to kind of reestablish some things and create some good habits and really develop the team. Just like we do during an open date to some degree. We're going to have very specific things for the offense, defense, and game changers, every position group, and some individual players. Very specific plan for them here for 4 days.
How much concern about or giving them time off when they come back from Christmas? And then are you using all the allotted days for setting special practices or not really?
No, we're not. I think there's got to be a work, life balance here, not only for the players but also for the staff. I think we're 6 days off is very reasonable. I think holiday can create great perspective for you too. I think you can come back from that with a great approach, great perspective. Certainly spending time with family is very important. Playing in a late bowl game, we don't want that to become a disadvantage for our team or players. So I think we've got a good plan. I think there's a balance there, and I think that's important. Certainly the holidays present a number of opportunities, not only to receive gifts, but more importantly to give gifts and certainly to spend time with people that are important to you. And that's what we want. We want that for the players, but we also want that for the staff. We're just reallocating time here. That's all we're doing. And, it will be important that we peak at the right time and try to play our best football game of the season here and finish the right way. But right now, we're working hard on ourselves and going to try to break it up that way. 4-day initiative here, create some intensity and urgency about what we're doing. Go to work, good habits, intentional, deliberate. All right, go take a break, enjoy that part, and then when we come back, we'll regroup and kind of recenter what we're trying to establish.
Is it very different than every week? I'm sure you correct quality control.
Sure.
From the week before more about the matchup and
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Yeah, I think it's definitely different. I mean, I think it's like a whole different season. You know, it is truly a postseason event. You know, we're talking about a month here between games. So, um, you know, this we've done. I've been a part of this a number of times, whether it was a semifinal college football playoff game or a Sugar Bowl or a 43-day layoff before a national championship game. You know, I mean, I think these are unique events, and you got to have a specific approach and strategy to it. And I think you can do too much work, you know, but you also can not do enough. You know, I think that's the challenge here is finding the right balance.
From the staffs that you have been on, where after that 30 or 40 days, that
Mm-hmm.
game didn't seem to go as well as the rest of
Sure.
the season, what normally goes wrong there that you're going to try to prevent it from going
Well,
wrong?
I think focus on improvement, focus on continuing to have the right mindset, right approach, right self discipline, right habits, not putting, um, being selfless and not maybe putting something that's out in front of you from a career standpoint or whatever the case may be before the team. You know, I think there's lots going on there. This is this is not just one individual player, man. We're talking about hundreds of people here, and that's the leadership challenge here is getting all of those people to buy into what we're trying to accomplish, their role, and getting better at their role, and certainly doing their part for the team. And you know, at the same time, I think it's a tremendous opportunity. It's a celebration to some degree about what we were able to accomplish. You want the bowl game to be that. It's a reward for the team, the experience they get, the things that come with that. So um, there's a lot going on here, you know, and it's not as simple as maybe one or two things. I think there's lots of factors.
Because of the lateness of it, is there any chance that someone might not play injury wise or
Yeah,
whatever wise that you
sure,
just alluded to that might have played like if it were playing Saturday? Is there any
right.
issue there?
No, we don't have that issue. I think across the country, you're going to see young men do both. You know, I think we've already seen a handful of really good players say they're going to play in the bowl game, and then you see a few that are not going to play. You know, I think the risk reward there is what you're weighing. You know, we're fortunate in that we have 5 players that have been selected to play in national all-star games, and this is almost a dream come true for them because you know they get a tune-up prior to going and reporting to the game. So playing later is actually a benefit for these guys, and certainly, um, you know, it's a great kind of lead-in for them, if that makes sense. So I think our guys have seen it as a positive. You know, certainly, um, I think most people would tell you that, um, you know, they want to draft a guy that sees his role on their team more important maybe than one single event, if that makes sense, you know. And I think it's important for players to always remember that one single event doesn't get you drafted or create an opportunity to be an undrafted free agent. It's a body of work. It's a years of investment and improvement. And I think we're fortunate that we have some players that have done a lot of good quality work. They've invested in themselves, their role to the team, and they're excited about playing one more game with this group. So, but it is something that you have to manage. It's something that you got to communicate with the families. Um, you know, very familiar with that process and how all that works. So it's been good, um, and I think it's a great thing for these young men um, to get that opportunity.
So in light of that, will Hunt have a shot? And I know it's several
Yeah,
weeks away, but what's
right.
Marquette's status, and is there anybody that you know is ruled out just because of injury, or not what Darren's talking about with senior days or whatever?
Yeah, Robert will not participate in the bowl game. Um, you know, his window for the injury he had to make progress and improve has passed, and you know he's certainly spent a lot of time in making an educated decision there. So Robert is actually getting ready to have the procedure that he needs to have, and certainly won't participate in the bowl, but he will fly back in for the bowl game and be there to be with his teammates and all that. But, Robert, he wants to play as much as anybody, and certainly made an effort, even dressed out Saturday against Appalachian State to give it a run. But, I think he's got a very normal injury. We did what we thought was best for him. And then, we always knew there was going to be kind of a fish or cut bait window there, and it just didn't make enough progress. So he's going to go ahead and have that fixed. And that will be a great turnaround. It won't be a difficult procedure or anything like that. So, but Robert will be the one player we'll be without. All the other players are expected to be healthy and return. I do think it's important that, all these guys, we kind of see this as an opportunity to help them transition, if that makes sense, and that's the plan going forward. Yeah, he will not participate physically, but he will be able to be there during the week, be able to meet with each team individually and all those things. So still get some of the positives that go with being selected. And those people at the Senior Bowl have been terrific, in terms of working with him. Very professional, certainly humbled. Robert would tell you, he's humbled and blessed with that opportunity, and he appreciates them working with him on that.
Kevin Dotson is named to the AP All-American team. This is the third or fourth team that he's made so far.
Sure.
What does it say about the season and the work that he's put in, and what does it also say about just the body of work that the offensive line has put together?
Yeah. No, I spoke with Kevin's dad this morning. I think, Kevin's been a great ambassador for this university and program. He's done it right in a lot of areas. He's certainly played really good football, but he's also been an outstanding student. He's been a great leader on the team. The guy's played a lot of football, and he has a great body of work, very well respected amongst his teammates, voted team captain by his peers, and I think it is it's awesome for our team, our staff, everyone that contributes to the entire organization, for an individual like Kevin who's been here, who's made significant progress, to get recognized nationally. Kevin is he's been an outstanding member of the team. And that's what I would say about Kevin Dotson. He's a team guy. Guy's one of the tougher competitors that I've been around, and he's made lots of progress since we've been here, and certainly played well in the past as well.
Going into Wednesday, what are your biggest concerns? Are there a few that you might be more worried about than others? And
Yeah.
coach several years, and are you going to keep a couple open, or how you going to play that?
Yeah, we expect to sign at least 17 players, and we feel confident about where we're at relative to that group. It's a group that's been committed for a long time. It's a group that has great relationships with each other, with our staff, and we're excited about the group, and we look forward to Wednesday. There's lots of things that can happen here in the final 48 hours, but we feel really good about the solidifying that group. That's one of our objectives here after the championship game, was to solidify all of our committed guys. And there may be some prizes, I think, for the good. But I do anticipate having a few initials left and being able to evaluate probably about 10% of the players across the country will be left. And we'll evaluate that pool of players. We'll also evaluate the transfer portal as those events unfold, and those will be very specific to what we think we need for our team going forward. So that plan has come together nicely, and I'm excited about Wednesday for sure.
You mentioned balance several times earlier. How has Benny Higgins managed to balance and juggle
Yeah,
school, football, and fatherhood?
sure. Yeah, Benny Higgins is one of my favorites. He's another guy who has really um, you know, in our time here has really developed as a person. He's developed as a student, got his degree. He's a guy who really has played quality snaps for us. He's contributed a lot to the team. Been a good leader this year in particular in that defensive line room. A lot of young players playing. Um, you know, Benny is a guy who he's a survivor. You know, I mean, a guy just he's found a way to make it all work, and certainly has a great family, and certainly has character. A guy that will do well regardless of what he chooses to do going forward. And we're certainly really proud of him, um, you know, and how he's handled himself while he's here.
I've been told it's called baton and not a wand. But how much fun have those guys had with their
Oh yeah, yeah. You know that is. I think it's a great. You know, we talk about celebrating as a team, and as much as that, it's an individual doing it. I think doing it on the sideline with their teammates. I think that's what I would agree with. You know, we've had a lot. You know, it gives them some ownership, allows creativity. You know, I think within a game, you want to capture momentum. You know, when you make a play, I think there's something to be said about celebrating that play, trying to create momentum in the game. Um, our guys look forward to it, and certainly we'll continue to do it. As long as I feel like it helps us win, we're going to do it.